We're at the Chicago Auto Show with Subaru, and they have the Crosstrek Hybrid on display. It's a 2026 model.
Yeah, so it's going to come at the end of this year for the 2026 model. And this is very important because the Crosstrek is the best-selling vehicle in the Subaru lineup. So this is very important for it now to have a hybrid. Andrea, a little history lesson.
Yeah.
They did have a hybrid and they did have a plug-in, but that was like a distant memory. So this is good to have this with new Toyota technology, right?
Yes, and also that plug-in hybrid in Canada was pretty hard to get, especially in Canada. Availability was low. So this has a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder boxer engine and a hybrid system. It has a lithium-ion battery. It's matched to a CVT, and it has a combined 194 horsepower. It does come with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Subaru made sure that they added this to their hybrid models. This was an important decision for them.
Okay, so if you haven't watched already, we have another video on the Forester, also announced for a hybrid. That one's coming sooner though, for this spring. This one will be late in the year as a 2026 model. Just to keep up, they both use the exact same powertrain. So Andrea mentioned it's a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder boxer engine, but it is now running on the Atkinson cycle, the more efficient fuel cycle. And then it's married to the same powertrain. So that means you get the same power that Forester's going to get, but in a smaller form function. So this might actually be quite a bit of fun to drive.
Yeah, it might be the one to get, that hybrid that has just the right amount of power. The Corolla Cross Hybrid has a combined 196 horsepower.
Okay, this is a partnership with Toyota, but it's not a plug and play from a vehicle like the Corolla Cross. It's actually quite different. So they've taken the engineering might of Toyota and the engineering might of Subaru and come up with something that makes it quite unique, except for the fact it's shared with Forester. So they have the 2.5 liter gasoline engine, then they have the CVT, and behind that is the electric motor that powers the back wheels mechanically. That's the big difference between Toyota. Toyota powers their all-wheel drive hybrids with a separate electric motor. This is mechanically connecting the engine, the battery, and that electric motor to the rear wheels.
Wondering where the battery is? Well, it is under the cargo area, just like the Forester Hybrid, so you are going to lose your temporary spare tire. Subaru has added a tire repair kit. This Crosstrek Hybrid also has the latest generation of EyeSight driver assist technology, hill descent control, and X mode.
So the total system output for this is 194 horsepower. If you isolate just the electric motor, it's 118 horsepower and 199 pound-feet of torque. However, keep in mind that the gas engine and the electric motor aren't always running at peak torque and horsepower at the same time.
The Crosstrek Hybrid has 8.7 inches of ground clearance, which is an excellent amount of ground clearance for a subcompact vehicle. A lot of people are drawn to the Crosstrek because of that. It has 18-inch wheel designs and specific hybrid badging. It's interesting, Subaru has decided to badge this model differently in the US and Canada. In Canada, the badging will say e-Boxer, and in the US, hybrid.
So by the way, e-Boxer is something they use in other markets around the world, and Canada decided to grab onto that one. I guess they're really leaning into the fact that they're a little different. They have their engines running this way. They have a mechanically connected hybrid system. And it's important to them as a brand to have a vehicle like Crosstrek that's still capable of doing all the Crosstrek stuff. Toyota's more about efficiency.
Yeah.
This is more about being able to do more.
One big difference between something like the Corolla Cross Hybrid and this Crosstrek Hybrid, you have an all-wheel drive system that's mechanically connected. With Toyota models, they offer an e-hybrid system, and at certain speeds, the electric motor in the back no longer operates.
So this one is mechanically connected. So if you're driving at higher speeds, you always have power going to the rear wheels.
There's not a huge difference in this Crosstrek Hybrid compared to the gas model, but in Canada, once again, there is just going to be one trim, and it's the top trim hybrid, just like the Forester in Canada. So we will get the 11.6-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple Carplay and Android Auto as standard equipment. Since the US will have more Crosstrek Hybrid trims, this won't be standard, but it is available. There's also a digital driver display in this model, which is very nice to have. Just like the Forester, you can see EyeSight on this digital driver display, as well as navigation and Apple Maps. One thing I like about the Crosstrek compared to the Forester is that there are physical buttons here for the heated seats instead of having to go into the screen to put them on. And you've got a traditional shifter, which we're always happy to see. The wireless charger is in the front, and you've got a couple cup holders. Storage is okay, but pretty good. You know, when you think about it, it is a subcompact vehicle. Seats are comfortable. This is a power operated driver's seat. The passenger seat is manual, and there is no height adjustment, not even manual height adjustment, so keep that in mind. You've got a moon roof with a manual sunshade. There's very little piano black in here. You'll find it at the center console on the shifter, and just a tiny bit around the screen, but there's nothing on the doors, which is always a treat to see. One feature that we tend to see on Crosstrek is the orange stitching. It's a great contrast with this gray upholstery. Take a look at the dash. You've got a nice textured material. Nice to see that there's no piano black. This is also soft touch. Overall, I think that Subaru has always done a nice job with the Crosstrek. I find it to be quite comfortable. This hybrid is no different than the gas model, and getting in and out of this vehicle is really easy.
So each year we do a top 5 list of our favorite vehicles for each category. SUVs are huge. This is in the subcompact class, and we chose Crosstrek as our #1 runaway top pick because we just think this, you know, hits the sweet spot.
Yeah.
It's a good size, got great ground clearance, it's known for its all-wheel drive, and now they've added, Andrea, hybrid. This is going to sell like crazy.
Absolutely, it's a huge hit. Now, some people are asking us, what about the Impreza? Will it get a hybrid? No
Andrea,
word.
will the Impreza get a hybrid?
No word from Subaru yet, but maybe one day. Let's wait and see. There's an all-new Outback coming as well. So with the Crosstrek Hybrid, there's 2 new exterior colors, Sand Dune, which you see behind us, and also Citron Yellow. I also want to add that for Canada, the Harman Kardon sound system is standard because we only have that top hybrid trim, and also over-the-air updates are available.
So on Forester, all but the base model in the United States gets the hybrid. Canada only gets 1 trim.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not going to be the case for long. We like having more hybrids available. So we don't have the pricing on this. It's going to be a 26 model, going to arrive in dealerships towards the end of 2025. So at the end of the year, we'll have the official EPA fuel economy numbers, but they've come out with an estimate of where they think it's going to land.
And this may change. These are US numbers, 34 miles per gallon in the city, 35 miles per gallon on the highway. Because in Canada, there's only going to be that top trim, it's going to have all the extra features, so the fuel economy might be a little bit different, and those aren't official numbers. We hope you enjoyed our first look video.
Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, subscribe. See you next time.